What if I told you that this perfect Bendy is supposed to be the guy we first meet as one of the audio file characters, Wally Franks? Now, before you're heading towards the dislike button, please listen to me, because this might be helpful for Bendy and the Dark Revival. So as we all know, there is this new perfect Bendy in the Dark Revival, and if you're a lore fan like I am, you would know that a perfect version of a character can only exist if the character and the person that gets in contact with the ink from the ink machine have some kind of connection with each other. That person gets turned into the perfect versions. A great example is Alison Pendle. She was the voice actress of Alice Angel, and guess who she transformed into? Alice Angel, but Vanilla Poison. Wally wasn't the voice actor for Bendy. Yeah, I know. But if we're looking at Tom Archer Thomas Connor, he was turned into Boris without even voicing him. Now that we got that out of the way, we have to ask ourselves some questions. First of all, what is the connection between Bendy and Wally? Secondly, how did Wally get to the old studio? And third of all, how can we be sure that this new Bendy is Wally Franks and not any other character? Anyways, let's get theorizing with question number 1. Now, this might be a stretch, but bear with me. The connection Wally has with the other characters really resemble those of the ones Bendy has with Boris and Alice. For example, if we look at the relationship of Bendy and Boris, it seems that they always seem to be in some kind of fight. And guess which characters are also most of the time in some kind of fight? Right, Thomas Connor and Wally Franks. And guess who was reincarnated as a Boris clone? Right, Thomas Connor. Furthermore, if we look at the structure of the fights, it seems as though Boris aka Tom is always this kind of grumpy guy who is really hard-minded, while Bendy aka Wally is the person who is always making some remarks about everything and seems to be shoved away by Tom aka Boris. Now, if we look at the relationship between Alice and Bendy, it seems as if Bendy really seems to like Alice, since she's actually really nice to him. If we imagine Wally as Bendy in this scenario, then who would Alice be? Let me show you it from a small little audio clip.
The only feed I don't mind tromping around here is Campbell's. She's good to me. I'll make sure I empty her garbage every day just to see how she's doing.
And guess who Miss Campbell turned into? Alice Angel. So it would only make sense if Wally was Bendy, since the relationships of cartoon Bendy really resemble the ones of Wally. Anyways, on to our next question. So this is mostly just my pure speculation, but I think that Wally, just like Tom and Allison, was eventually going back to the studio since he did seem to be interested in staying in contact with Joey. It would also be really weird if Joey hung one of the letters up his pinboard and then never write to Wally again. Like, that would make zero sense. So they probably wrote each other some letters until Wally went to the old studio and got turned into Bendy. Also, did you notice the Bendy Boris and Alice thing at the pinboard? Joey wrote to 3 employees, to Alice and Archer Alice, Tom, Archer Boris, and to Wally Archer Bendy. Coincidence? I think not. And last but not least, our last question. So I heard people say that this new Bendy could be Henry or the little girl we hear at the ending of Bendy and the Ink Machine. But I don't think that any of these theories are possible. First, let's talk about the little girl one. People say that she could be Bendy due to Bendy's childish behavior in the trailer, but Dark Revival plays after Joey's death in 1972 or later. So that would mean that the little girl is probably an adult during Dark Revival. So that theory is debunked, but now on to Henry. I personally don't think that Henry could be Bendy, even though Henry is Bendy's original creator, and therefore he has a connection with Bendy. I don't think that he could be Bendy. First, we got to think about what even happens to Henry in Dark Revival. Since the Dark Revival talks about the stopped cycle, it means that Henry isn't trapped in a loop anymore. So that means that Henry could either be A. be reincarnated as a toon or last one, or B. be reincarnated as a person like Audrey. I personally believe in theory B, because characters like Susie or Sammy do seem to comment on Henry's appearance in Bendy and the Ink Machine. Therefore Henry couldn't possibly be a toon or a last one. So that only leaves one character we know of, and that's Wally. With my other points mentioned, it does really make sense for a person like Wally to be reincarnated into the perfect Bendy, don't you think? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it would be nice to hear your opinions on this topic. My name is Vanilla Poison, and you guys have a great night. Bye.